Hey guys, so this is Hal Overman with Gigawatt Cycling. You can see right here this exciting crit going on in Kernersville, North Carolina. It is August 3rd, 2021. Beautiful, beautiful day we got here. So this is a Cat 3-4 race. These are a great series of training crits. I encourage you, if you're in the North Carolina area, it's well worth the drive to come run these, to race in these. If you're a Cat 4, you can race in 2 races. If you're a Cat 3, you can race in 2 races. A lot of fun, reasonably priced, cash prizes for the podium spots. Excellent, right? So I've been doing these races for a while. I'm very familiar with these courses. I have 2 teammates with me today, so the great thing about these crits, and I come from a mountain bike race background. I'm not much of a road racer, really only been riding the road bike, seriously racing for maybe the last 2 to 3 seasons. You know, COVID wasn't much of a season. But today we've got 2 pretty experienced racers in this race behind me. We've got one who's a Cat 4. Actually, they're both Cat 4s, both looking to Cat up, and I am, of course, a Cat 3 at the moment. So the big thing that we are focused on in this race is trying to work the least amount, of course, as always. It's the main goal, to cover any breaks, and if we do get a teammate in the break, for us to block, and if there's somebody that tries to bridge up, get a free ride, right? So race kind of starts off a little slow. Main rivals here in this particular race, we've got 3 or 4 people from Trek Benissimo in the blue kits you can see up front of me, and then you've got 3 or 4 people from Cycles d'Oro, which is in the red kit, who is currently in the very front on this race. We have one guy that went up in the front, kind of a flyer, unknown rider, no teammates, so we're kind of letting him dangle out there. So here we go. Enjoy. I'll go through some of the thoughts and kind of why we made the moves that we did, and hopefully you'll enjoy this video. So let's jump right in. So here we've got this flyer that went up the road in the earlier frame that I showed. We just caught up to him, and here is one of my teammates doing an attack. So we had the Cycles d'Oro and the Trek guys do some hard pulls to try and catch up that solo flyer. And so I just get up front just now and start putting out a low amount of watts, and then we have a Cycles d'Oro guy and a Trek guy decide to pass me. So now I'm like, hey, free ride. So I run up to get on these guys' wheels, and we'll see what happens. Once again, primary rule of crit racing, never chase your own teammates when they get away. So if I can get a free ride, great. So I'm going to sit on these guys' wheels and see what happens. If my teammate can get away, do a solo break, hey, that's great. There's just my 2 teammates up there and me back here. I'm definitely not going to do any work at this point. And here's the rest of the group finally getting some motivation. So here's once again another free ride for me. So I'll pop on this guy's wheel, one of the Trek Benissimo riders. And you can't see behind me, but there's a pretty decent gap behind us right now. There's really nobody on my wheel at all. So my hope is that, hey, maybe the 4 of us can get in a break. That would be great to have, 3 teammates and 1 non-teammate in a break. But when we crest this hill, the rest of the pack finally gets enough motivation. Here goes my teammate again, taking off. So here I get up front because I see somebody else trying to catch him. Once again, another free ride. So behind me right now there is once again a gap. I tried to put out a big enough jump that I don't bring anybody along with me, but they are coming up on me pretty fast, and probably by about this point they've closed that gap once again. So good little attack from my teammate. So Inland Construction takes a solo flyer up the road, and none of us are really too motivated to follow. One of the things about these crits is you tend to race the same people off and on, and you know who's strong, who's not. I'm in the front here. I decided to give it a little bit of an effort to pull him in. The Inland Construction team, they have some good riders on their team. I'm actually not 100% sure on this particular gentleman, so I figure throw in a little bit of an effort and rein him in, and it doesn't take too much, as we've already pretty much caught him after just a little bit of a jump from myself. So here goes another one of my teammates, attacking off the front after I just did my little jump. So I'm letting these guys, if they get the motivation to go catch him, go for it. If they don't, they don't. I'm letting people pass me to try and jump on. So here's an opportunity where I can either start blocking or I can jump on. I decided at this point not to put forth any effort, so you can see my watts are pretty low, to see if we can get a break going. So I'm just kind of chilling out front, and then here we go. People start realizing I'm not going to do squat, so they start coming around me and trying to jump into that break. So here I am, I'm going to jump on this guy's wheel. I know this person is very strong. He's won several podiums in this crit series before, so I'm going to go ahead and jump on his wheel, and he is going to bring us back up into this potential break. So at this point, we've got one of my teammates. He's up the road. I'm like, this might stick. He's a strong guy from a TT background, so he's doing a solo break right now. So you can see one of my teammates, a bike in front of me. He's about 10 bike lengths out. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to sit back here, and if anybody decides to get bold and try and bridge up, might grab a wheel, might block, kind of depend on the situation. Going pretty good here. Typically on this course, some of my fastest averages for the whole race have been 27, 28. Today wasn't quite as fast. We had a good, decent headwind. So there we have a couple people that just attacked. They finally got motivated. So here we are doing 30 plus miles an hour. Once again, free ride to get up to my lone teammate up there. So might as well do it, looking to see if once again we can snap that rubber band, perhaps get a break going from the rest of the group, but they're just not letting us get away yet at this point. So my teammate and I here are essentially getting draft off these guys' wheels, and if they want to rein my solo teammate in up there, we'll let them do it. And you can see how close we're getting. And it's falling apart. So I'm not putting any work in. My teammate's not going to put any work in. And he just stays out front. So this is a lot of fun, by the way, doing this on the bike. So here we go. There's a little bit of an effort coming on. So why not see if we can get separated from the group. So we do actually form a gap here off the inland construction guy, which I just yell out. I'm like, hey, we got a gap, guys, let's roll it. But we come across that corner, then they start coming up on us hard. So I just yell at my teammate, hey man, forget it. So you look at the power numbers, he goes way down here. And we're just going to let our teammate try and take the solo still. No reason in trying to catch him. If they want to come around us, let them come around us. Really, at this point, we are really controlling the field. Everybody behind us is a little gassed from some of the attacks that have been made, and they're just not willing to come around us at this point. And we're just letting him right away in the distance. So here we are doing 22 miles an hour, usually, 26 easy. Here we go. So they're finally getting their motivation, which for me is going to be a free ride once again. So here I try to get on their wheels, put in a little dig. And nobody seems to have the motivation to go up and fully catch them. They'll put in these digs, and they kind of, they just point don't have it. Now, these two guys in front of me are gassed. The rest of the teams in the back are probably all thinking to themselves, man, are we going to try and catch that, or are we going to stay back here? So we get some motivation going on with the Trek team. So once again, free ride for me. So I'm hopping on this, putting in a little dig here. See if it goes anywhere. If we can bridge up, great. If not, I'm good with it too, either way. So I just yelled at them, letting them know we did get another gap, so there's nobody on us right now. So he just pulls off, and this guy I think is already kind of gassed from last time, so. And I'm definitely not going to help. No way. So Trek tries to put in a little run here again. So once again, free ride for me. So I hop on. But I am not going to do any work to catch that. And we're close. We're so close. So there's a gap behind us. You can't see it, of course, on the video, but we're pretty much sitting out by ourselves. We've got maybe 4 or 5 bike lengths behind us at the moment. So Cycles Dioro guy tries to put in a dig here as well. Once again, free ride for me. Get on that wheel. Enjoy the draft. So I'm gassed. I'm not going to be able to counter at this point. These two guys in front of me are pretty gassed, and my teammate who just took a solo break decides to go ahead and try and attack again right here. He's obviously having a good race day, and there he goes way off to the right, if you see it. And I'm not going to chase it. Cycles Dioro in front of me is not going to chase it, so he just pulls off. So I put in a dig here because I wanted to see if I could snap the rubber band and join just my teammate and just help him to continue on the break, but they're onto me, so I give up right in here. I'm like, nope, I'm done. So if these guys want to come around me and try to chase it, I'm good with that, but I'm not going to do any more chasing at this point. So if I had managed to get away from those guys and form a gap behind me, I probably would have continued, tried to bridge up to him. So he's away once again. Same guy. Great race day. You'll see by, spoiler alert, you'll see by the end of this video, he ends up winning the race in this break right here. So this is funny right here. He's running out of juice. Yep, and there he goes. He's like, oh, come around me. I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm good. I'm not going to come around you. No, I'm happy. And so these guys come around me kind of on a casual pace, and I'll just find another wheel, get dragged around for a while. That's good with me. Meanwhile, teammates are getting up the road. Can't complain. Great position to be in right now. These guys have continued to put in some decent little efforts, and once again I've been kind of sitting in 3-4 wheels back, getting that free ride, just drafting, and we have slowly reined in this break with my teammate. And what's interesting is the Cycles Dioro guys actually helped rein in their own teammate here. I don't know if they realized the brake just wasn't going to stick or what. So now that second brake and the main group has merged, I've still got my one solo teammate up the road who's just laying it down. He's long gone. Everybody's forgotten about him for the most part. Here we are. We're down to the last little bit of the race. I'm actually in front here doing a little bit of a dig up the hill, trying to see if I can do a little bit of a loosen up, get these guys a little bit more tired in preparation for my teammate. He's sitting a few wheels back, which is perfect. So doing a couple little digs once again, trying to get people a little gassed before the sprint. That's my strategy anyway. Shut it down a little bit through here, but everybody knows that the last lap's coming up, so they're happy to let me sit here and cruise on a tempo spot. Not really going too hard. We do have one guy up the road here that took a little bit of a break, tried to get away. It looks like he's a long way off right now, but by the time we get to the last lap, we suck him right back in. So nothing too exciting to talk about there. I was watching this and thinking, man, this guy might take the second place, and that certainly was possible, but he was too gassed to really hold the group off. So here I am coming up, and once again, one lap to go, and I want to make sure I'm in a pretty good position, either to take the sprint. I am not a great sprinter. Either for me to take the sprint, or at least to get my teammate in a good position. So people are starting to hit it a little bit. So I hit a little bit here because I don't want to get caught in the back. And I end up with actually a pretty good position. So here we go. I'm 4 wheels back. We've got one guy up the road. So we'll catch him here in just a minute. So we're going pretty good. This was the fastest time we went through here the whole day. And the sprint for this course really starts, at least for me, I usually try to begin it somewhere in this section, usually right before the corner. So these two guys off to the right, they've already started their sprint. And I get caught a little bit behind this guy, but my teammate was out by me, so there he goes. And I'm just gassed. I'm not good for more than 700 watts. Usually I'm good for at least 1100. But so there we go. That was the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Really appreciate watching. We ended up getting first and fourth place.